A woman is pretending to be you. She used your image to receive a large amount of. My beloved child. Don't scroll, something sacred has been stolen from you. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is not just happening in the natural, it's unfolding in the spiritual as well. A woman is pretending to be you. She has taken your image, your likeness, your reflection, and used it to receive what was meant for your hands. But before fear tries to rise, hear me, heaven has already sounded the alarm. You have felt it in your body, the unease, the restless nights, the sudden chills with no cause. You've noticed your phone glitching, your messages disappearing, people misunderstanding you without reason. You thought it was coincidence. It wasn't. It was interference. Because in the unseen realm, someone has been impersonating your light. She mirrored your face, but she could not mirror your frequency. She used your smile to enter doors you prayed for, but her motives were shadowed by greed. She spoke words you once spoke in faith, but her echo carried no anointing. And heaven took notice. The wind itself began to report the shift. The angels who guard your assignment registered something off-key. They saw a voice rise that sounded like yours, but heaven knew the vibration was wrong. Michael stepped forward and said, "This frequency does not belong to the one chosen." So now, the courtroom of heaven has opened a case in your name. My child, don't panic. I have not allowed this to destroy you, only to expose what was hidden. Because when imitation crosses into theft, heaven intervenes. Every fake blessing that was built on your likeness is now collapsing. Every false signature made in your name is being examined. Every word she spoke pretending to be you is being traced to its origin. The evidence is spiritual, yet real. Documents, conversations, financial streams, all tied to your stolen reflection. But there is something deeper than what the world calls fraud. This is spiritual identity theft, someone trying to walk inside your calling without carrying your cross. She wanted your glow but not your grind. Your favor, but not your faithfulness. Your harvest, but not your tears. And that's why it will not last. Because I did not anoint her voice, I anointed yours. I did not breathe into her spirit, I breathed into yours. And no imitation can sustain what was birthed by authenticity. You've been wondering, why do I feel so drained lately? Why do I sense confusion where peace used to live? It's because heaven has been flagging interference signals. The spiritual system that protects you has been scanning non-stop. And now, heaven has confirmed, the alert is valid. Michael's sword glows brighter tonight. He stands near your name written in light, and says, "We will not let this stand." The divine files are being opened. Scrolls of authenticity are being reviewed. Every attempt to duplicate your destiny is being documented. So, my beloved, don't fear exposure. Welcome it. Because the same light that reveals will also redeem. And what was stolen from your image will return multiplied by mercy. You might receive strange messages soon, people saying they heard from you, people confused, systems double-checking your name. Do not be alarmed. That's heaven syncing the natural with the spiritual. I am orchestrating events that will make the truth impossible to hide. Emails, records, words, all aligning like divine fingerprints. When heaven says enough, imitation must collapse. And the countdown has begun. She may think no one sees her, but my angels trace every motion. They follow every transaction, every whisper, every lie spoken in your name. And I, the Lord, am your witness and your defender. This is not punishment for you, it is protection of you. You will soon feel a shift in the atmosphere around your life. Opportunities that felt blocked will begin to move again. Favor that paused will flow freely. Doors that closed will recognize your rightful frequency and reopen in your favor. Because the system is being cleansed. Your name is being re-verified in heaven's archives. Your signature is glowing again in gold. My child, listen to me closely, you don't need to fight this battle in the flesh. You don't need to prove who you are to anyone. You simply need to remain still while heaven conducts the investigation. Because the louder you try to explain yourself, the more confusion the enemy will cause. But when you rest, I can roar. Do you hear the silence breaking? That's the sound of divine pursuit. The imposter has run out of shadows to hide in. Michael moves through timelines like lightning, rewriting, recalibrating, restoring. The false files are being erased. The genuine ones are being sealed. Say softly, heaven is defending me. Type in faith, I am seen by God. Because this message reached you not by chance, but by divine urgency. You were supposed to hear this tonight, to stop worrying that you're losing yourself. You are not losing, you are being protected through exposure. Every false claim, every deceptive voice, every stolen opportunity, they're all under review. And when heaven reviews, heaven restores. So, breathe. I've got this. Your name is safe in my records. Your face is covered in my light. And the woman pretending to be you is about to learn the consequence of touching what's consecrated. Stay close, my beloved. In the next few days, the evidence will surface. You won't need to chase it, it will come find you. And when it does, you will know this message was true. She copied your image, but she could never copy your essence. Now, close your eyes and whisper, truth, find me. Justice, follow me. Peace, restore me. Because the investigation has begun. The investigation has begun, and heaven has entered what the angels call the phase of tracing. Michael stands in the center of the heavenly control room. A vast hall of light where scrolls open like living flames. Each record hums with energy, names glowing in golden script. Your name glows brightest. All around, angels move with precise rhythm. They trace every echo of your energy, every word, every action, every vibration that carries your spiritual signature. The task is delicate, to separate the authentic from the counterfeit. Michael says, her signature looks like yours, Lord, but the vibration doesn't match. And I answer, because authenticity carries frequency, counterfeit carries friction. You see, child, imitation can only copy form. It cannot replicate faith. It can borrow your image, but it cannot borrow your intimacy. Every forged message, every falsified claim, every stolen opportunity is being reviewed now. The angels hold luminous tablets, heaven's records of truth, and every distorted version of your identity flashes red when examined under the light. The scroll bearing your true essence hums with peace. The one bearing hers hums with distortion. That's how heaven knows the difference. Not by appearance, but by vibration. Not by likeness, but by essence. Michael moves his hand across the records and says, "Freeze the systems that favor her fraud." And instantly, the atmosphere shifts. Emails fail to send. Conversations she depended on stop mid-sentence. Her support crumbles quietly, as heaven isolates the infection. The systems that once carried her lies are now frozen. Accounts, approvals, alignments, all paused until truth finishes its work. Child, have you noticed delays in your life lately? Opportunities that seemed ready but stalled? That was heaven securing your name. The reason things didn't move is because someone else tried to move in your place. But now that truth is being separated from imitation, everything will start flowing again, this time, to the rightful owner. Do not rush the process. Justice in heaven does not panic, it perfects. I repeat to your spirit, truth does not rush, it restores. From your perspective, it may look like nothing is happening. But from mine, everything is happening at once. Michael leans over the scroll labeled with your destiny. Lines that were once tangled are being untied. Documents with false endorsements are being stamped void. And new seals, bright with divine approval, are pressed upon your authentic path. Gabriel moves silently through the scene, carrying the reports to my throne. He whispers, "The counterfeit has been detected." And I decree, then begin the restoration. You'll start to feel changes soon. Peace returning to your body. Strange calm in moments that used to feel chaotic. That is heaven's signature of progress. Each breath you take now clears residue from your spiritual atmosphere. Each prayer you whisper becomes part of the evidence file, proof that you cooperated with truth instead of chaos. Even your silence is powerful in this phase. Because silence, when anointed, becomes a weapon. While the imposter scrambles to maintain control, heaven simply documents her panic. Her energy flickers, her connections weaken, her plans begin to crumble. Because no structure built on stolen light can withstand heaven's weight of justice. Child, don't try to expose her yourself. Let heaven handle it. If you speak too soon, she'll twist the story. If you stay quiet, heaven will make the truth echo louder than your words ever could. Michael says again, "We've located the root signal." It came from envy wrapped in desperation. And I nod, because I already knew. That's how most theft begins, not from hatred, but from hunger. A hunger for the favor you carry. A desire to wear your crown without enduring your trials. But crowns that are borrowed burn the head that wears them. She is discovering that now. Soon, you'll hear of things shifting. People who supported her will distance themselves. Doors that opened for her will quietly close. Systems that worked in her favor will start to glitch. It's not coincidence, it's correction. I am redirecting the flow. Everything that left your life unjustly is on its way back, traced by angels who carry the receipts. Yes, child, heaven keeps receipts. Not of your mistakes, but of your mistreatment. And every unbalanced moment is now being accounted for. Say softly, heaven is realigning everything connected to me. Type this in faith, truth does not rush, it restores. Because your declaration joins the angel's decree. Words spoken in alignment become part of the evidence chain. So when you say, "I am protected," it isn't just affirmation, it's activation. Your faith becomes the access key to restoration. Look around you, child. Even now, the air feels charged. The systems around your destiny are recalibrating. The woman who pretended to be you may not even understand what's happening yet. But deep within her, something feels off. Her peace is disturbed, her favor feels foreign. Because she touched what was sacred without permission. And heaven does not ignore misuse of grace. I am turning every copy into clarity. Every stolen opportunity into testimony. Every delay into divine documentation of how truth triumphs over imitation. Michael stands now with his sword drawn, not for war, but for witness. He declares, the false has been exposed. The restoration is in progress. And as he speaks, your name glows brighter in the hall of records. Your essence radiates through the divine archives like gold poured into form. My voice fills the chamber, let what was stolen be traced. Let what was misused be returned. Let what was hidden be revealed. The case is advancing. And you, my beloved, are winning without even fighting. Stay with me in stillness. Because soon, the next phase will begin, the unmasking. And when it happens, it will not be subtle. The same eyes that saw her pretending will see the truth returning to you. Do not move in anger, move in awareness. Because vindication is not revenge, it's restoration. And I am about to prove that what is divine cannot be duplicated. Now, my beloved child, the light intensifies. Heaven has completed its tracing. Every thread of deceit, every false echo, every borrowed blessing has been found. The investigation reaches its peak. This is the hour of unmasking. You may feel a sudden weight lift from your chest. That's not coincidence. That's heaven releasing the tension built during exposure. What was tangled in confusion is about to unfold in truth. Michael's sword glows like lightning, suspended in midair. With one motion, he strikes it down through the record of imitation. The sound is not violent, it is final. Light splits through every layer of deception like dawn tearing the night apart. And suddenly, the mirror tilts. There she stands, the woman who has been pretending to be you. Her face looks like yours at first glance, but heaven makes the distinction clear. Where your aura radiates peace, hers flickers with strain. Where your presence carries warmth, hers trembles with guilt. She smiles, but the smile collapses in the truth's reflection. She is seen now, fully, completely, unmistakably. Do not gloat, my child. Do not wish her harm. Because this exposure isn't just for justice, it's for learning. Even those who steal light must face it eventually. I told you, she copied your look, but she could never copy your essence. Her imitation could fool men, but never heaven. Her voice carried your words, but not your weight. Her success looked like favor, but it was borrowed time. Now heaven demands the return. You'll soon hear of systems reversing, names being questioned, and people saying, something doesn't feel right about her. They will begin to see what I've seen all along. Not because you exposed her, but because truth finally spoke louder than confusion. Watch how her world begins to flicker. Messages sent in your name will freeze mid-transmission. Accounts that once overflowed will be audited by divine precision. Relationships that seemed solid will turn quiet. Because heaven has ordered silence around deception. Michael moves through her space like wind through a room of dust. Everything she built with stolen light starts to lose structure. Not because I desire her fall, but because the counterfeit cannot coexist with authenticity. Her devices glitch. Her plans stutter. Her peace dissolves. The more she tries to hold on, the more truth pushes through her fingers. And for the first time, she feels what you felt, the unease, the sleeplessness, the divine pressure that calls for confession. Child, this is your vindication moment. Do not fear the visibility that comes next. For a long time, you prayed in secret for peace. Now peace is arriving in public. The light that once hid behind patience now walks before you as evidence. People who ignored your voice will start to apologize without knowing why. Those who doubted you will feel conviction when they hear your name. Because heaven's judgment does not humiliate, it illuminates. The world is beginning to recognize authenticity. And your spirit is the proof of it. In the realm of light, I show you something beautiful, a ledger glowing with divine ink. At the top of it, your name. Below it, her name, crossed out. The entry reads, "Blessings, reassigned to the rightful owner." Michael lifts the ledger and presents it to me. And I seal it with my hand of fire. Then I speak a decree across heaven's halls: return what was stolen. Redirect what was misused. Restore what was delayed. The angels move instantly. You might not see wings, but you'll feel the wind, subtle shifts, unexpected calls, a message that changes everything. That's how heaven restores, quietly, powerfully, perfectly. The woman begins to realize her collapse isn't punishment, it's revelation. She sits surrounded by silence, hearing echoes of what she did. Her mind replays every image, every lie, every opportunity she took that didn't belong to her. And remorse begins to build like a storm. I let her feel it, not to crush her, but to cleanse her. Because exposure without repentance leads to emptiness. And I desire mercy, not misery. Meanwhile, your peace grows stronger. You feel lighter, clearer, grounded. The tension that once followed you lifts as heaven's order replaces confusion. Do you feel that stillness, my beloved? That's vindication arriving. You no longer have to prove anything. The truth itself is doing the talking. Every conversation she twisted is untwisting. Every false version of your story is collapsing. Every door that opened for her is closing with gentle finality. And now, listen closely, the sound you hear in your spirit right now is the transfer. I am transferring energy, favor, and recognition back to you. What she took by pretending will now be returned by purpose. The divine light that once flickered between you is being gathered and redirected to its rightful source, your soul. Michael speaks softly, the truth always returns to its rightful owner. And I affirm, she used your face to collect what was meant for your faith, but I am returning it to you. Your name, my child, is being written again, this time in bolder light. The aura around you is sealed with authenticity. Your path clears itself of residue. People begin to sense something pure when they encounter you, a calm authority, a quiet radiance. This is heaven's mark of reinstatement. You have passed through imitation's shadow and come out carrying discernment. No one will ever be able to steal your essence again, because you now recognize its worth. Say softly, what's mine is finding its way home. Type this in faith, the truth has found me. Comment this aloud, heaven's justice is working right now. Whisper in your heart, she copied my look, but she could never copy my essence. Let these words echo, because when you declare truth, you anchor reality. Do not chase revenge, live restoration. Do not seek validation, embody it. Because from this moment forward, the light belongs only to you again. And all that was built on lies will fade into memory, while your authenticity shines brighter than ever. The unmasking is complete. And now, we move into the next phase, the divine reclaiming. Where the evidence becomes inheritance, and the investigation becomes celebration. Now that truth has done its work, the atmosphere around you begins to change. What was once heavy now feels weightless. The air moves differently, slower, softer, because heaven has entered the phase of return. My beloved child, do you feel the ease in your chest? That is restoration breathing. The spiritual storm that once swirled around your name has cleared, and now sunlight touches every corner that deceit once darkened. This is the sound of reclamation, quiet, steady, irreversible. The ledgers of heaven are being rewritten as I speak. Where once it said, withheld, it now says, released. Where it read, stolen, it now glows, restored. Each word is alive, each decree carries weight. Your name appears at the top of a golden record marked authentic owner. I am returning everything, not through chaos, but through perfect sequence. Approvals that stalled without reason will suddenly move forward. People who overlooked you will remember you. A document may reappear. An apology may reach you through unexpected lips. All these are heaven's proof, evidence that justice has transitioned into reward. Michael has closed the file labeled, Investigation. He now stands beside you, holding what looks like a luminous receipt, proof of divine transaction. It glows with the words, Case closed. Assets returned. Child, what was once delayed is now being delivered. Your blessings are no longer pending review, they are marked for release. In the invisible world, angels are moving like swift currents, carrying back every resource that drifted away under false identity. Finances are realigning. Reputation is being recalibrated. Your name, once questioned, is now whispered in reverence. Every door that's shut against you is now unlocking with ease. Not because you forced it, but because I verified it. No one can deny what I have stamped as true. The same platforms where you were misunderstood will soon amplify your authenticity. The same people who once compared you will now honor you. The same situations that drained you will now repay you. Because heaven does not restore halfway, it restores completely. I see your heart, cautious, still healing. You're afraid to celebrate too soon. But my child, this is not a test anymore. It's testimony. You have already passed through proving. Now you are entering possessing. Michael whispers, the system that once froze them now favors them. And I respond, yes, for they did not retaliate, they trusted. Your patience became your greatest weapon. Your silence became your defense. Your tears became your evidence. And now, each one is being repaid with precision. Do you remember the moments you cried, Lord, they took everything? I was there. Every sob you released was collected. Those tears were currency in heaven's economy, and I never let one drop go to waste. Now I am cashing them in the form of peace, recognition, and recompense. You'll soon receive a message that feels ordinary but carries divine intent. Someone who once ignored you will suddenly remember. A long-delayed approval will suddenly move. A forgotten opportunity will resurface. It will all seem coincidental, but it is not. This is the unfolding of divine proof. Say softly, "Heaven is repaying me." Type this in faith, "My name is clean and my blessings are released." Because each word you speak in faith writes another line into your restoration scroll. And that scroll is what heaven is reading right now. The more you believe it, the faster it manifests. Because faith is not wishful thinking, it is legal permission for heaven to act. Now, let me show you what happens behind the veil. The heavenly accounting room glows like molten gold. Thousands of scrolls line its walls, each one holding names, seasons, and assignments. Michael stands at the table of correction, recalibrating timelines that were tampered with. He wipes out duplicates, burns false entries, and stamps your scroll with the seal of truth restored. Then he turns and bows, saying, "The record has been purified." The moment he says it, you feel warmth flood your spirit. Your mind clears. The confusion that hovered around your decisions dissipates. The anxiety that once followed you dissolves. Because when truth is restored, peace follows automatically. Child, I need you to recognize this: no one can steal from you again unless you give them permission. And you will never give it, because now you know your worth. You carry a spiritual watermark, invisible but undeniable. Every blessing I send you now bears your spiritual DNA. It cannot be duplicated, redirected, or stolen. Even if someone tries to imitate it, the system will reject their access. That's the new security I've placed around you. Heaven's firewall of light surrounds your name. You'll start to notice that even your presence feels different. People will look at you and sense peace they can't explain. Opportunities will find you without effort. The right conversations will open at perfect timing. This is not luck, this is restoration protocol. Everything that once resisted you now recognizes you. Every false claim now carries your correction. You are walking in verified authenticity. Say softly, "Heaven knows my voice." Comment this aloud: "Everything stolen is returning multiplied." Type, "The system that froze me now favors me." Whisper with gratitude, "Restoration is my reality." Child, you must understand this: the reward is not just in the return, it's in the revelation. You've learned how to discern imitation. You've gained wisdom that cannot be taught, only lived. You now recognize the subtle difference between what looks right and what feels right. That discernment will guard your destiny for the rest of your life. Michael bows again and speaks gently, "It is finished." The angels respond in unison, the original is reinstated. And I, the Lord your defender, declare. Let peace rest where panic once lived. Let restoration rule where confusion once reigned. Let joy rise where injustice once whispered. It is done. Your case is closed. Your name is clean. Your season of returning has begun. Now, my beloved, prepare for the final phase, the coronation. Where restoration becomes royalty. Where vindication turns into victory. Where I, myself, seal you as heaven's verified original. Now, my beloved, the courtroom of heaven grows silent again. Not with tension this time, but with awe. Because the case that began in warning now ends in worship. What was once an investigation has become a coronation. Every angel who handled your restoration now stands in position. Michael beside you, Gabriel before you, and the great cloud of witnesses surrounding you in a circle of radiant calm. They do not speak. They simply watch as I approach you with the scroll that carries your name, pure, unblemished, and sealed in light. I say softly, it is time. The courtroom shifts into what heaven calls the hall of reinstatement. Golden curtains part, revealing a throne that glows with gentle fire, not to intimidate, but to honor. This is where I crown those who survived imitation without losing identity. And you, my child, are standing here because you did not retaliate when you were robbed. You waited when you could have fought. You trusted when you could have panicked. And that faith has now qualified you for divine elevation. Gabriel steps forward, his voice echoing through eternity. Announcement: the rightful one has been verified. The authentic has been restored. The original has been found. Every angel bows their head as I lift the crown from a pedestal of light. It is not made of metal, it is made of memory. Each jewel represents a moment when you chose faith over fear, surrender over striving, forgiveness over fury. This crown glows with the record of your resilience. I place it gently upon your head and speak the decree that cannot be revoked: you are heaven's original. The words ripple through the realm like waves of pure gold. Every echo of imitation fades. Every false version vanishes. Every stolen reflection dissolves back into dust. Do you feel that warmth descending over your shoulders? That is the robe of restoration, woven from threads of truth and mercy. Michael drapes it across you, sealing the garment with a clasp shaped like a flame. He declares, no one can duplicate what was designed in secret. And I add, every counterfeit has expired. Every false claim has been revoked. Every shadow has been dismissed. The room fills with music that sounds like light laughing, soft yet infinite. It's heaven's way of rejoicing when authenticity wins. You are no longer the wounded one, you are the verified one. Every scar now glows with purpose. Every delay now shines as evidence that I was protecting, not punishing. This is your new era, child, an era of peace that doesn't ask for proof. You won't need to convince anyone of who you are, the glow will do that for you. Your aura has become your witness. Your calm has become your calling card. Even the angels will whisper when they pass you, behold, the one who survived imitation and became illumination. Say softly, I receive my divine crown. Type this in faith, I am heaven's original. Let your soul rest in that truth. Because from this day forward, anything that doesn't carry your true frequency will fall away. Not through effort, through divine incompatibility. Imitation cannot coexist with authenticity anymore. Your energy is too pure. Your light too coded. Your identity too sealed. Gabriel turns to you again, smiling, your announcement has already begun. The world will soon see what heaven saw all along. You will notice it first in small ways, a sudden recognition, an unexpected invitation, a message that begins with, I thought of you today. Do not underestimate these signs. They are confirmations that heaven's verification is now visible on earth. The people meant to bless you will find you. The opportunities marked for your name will locate you. The favor withheld by confusion will now accelerate by clarity. This is how divine justice manifests, not as revenge, but as recognition. You will walk into rooms and not even realize that your presence has shifted the atmosphere. You'll speak softly, yet hearts will quiet to listen. Because the one who carries heaven's stamp doesn't need to shout, they simply exist, and the world adjusts. That is your new anointing, effortless authority. Every word you speak will carry weight, because it no longer comes from pain, it comes from peace. And peace is power perfected. Child, you've reached the end of this story, but it is also the beginning of another. Now that I've restored what was stolen, I will multiply what you carry. Your light will attract nations, your authenticity will inspire healing, and your story will unlock freedom for others still trapped in imitation. You are not just restored, you are recrowned. You are not just vindicated, you are validated. And you will never again walk in the shadow of someone pretending to be you. For I have sealed your reflection in heaven's glass, unbreakable, uncopyable, unforgettable. Say softly, every counterfeit has expired. Type, I am sealed in divine authenticity. Comment aloud, my era of peace and recognition begins now. Whisper from your heart, I receive my divine crown. Each declaration sends light rippling into the atmosphere around you. Heaven hears. The earth adjusts. And your destiny responds. Now listen one final time, child, for this is the last decree over your case, the signature that completes your restoration. The original has been reinstated. The record is sealed. The crown is permanent. The peace is eternal. The courtroom fades into radiant stillness. Gabriel closes the scroll. Michael kneels one last time beside you, sword lowered in reverence. And I, your father, your defender, your source, place my hand upon your head and whisper, walk freely, my authentic one. The world will see your glow, but only heaven knows its cost. Now go in peace, crowned and covered. For no shadow, no fraud, no force can ever pretend to be you again. Amen.